Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You are listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Josh Chomick.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
And today, if you're watching us, we are officially in our new studio.
Thank you.
Who invited them?
Guys, calm down. Calm down.
The live studio audience has spoken.
They're so rowdy.
It's like the Ellen DeGeneres show in here. We're going to start dancing in just a second.
I'm down.
Well, yeah, so like I said, we're officially this week in our new studio. It feels different. Feels a little weird. We got a bigger table now, Josh.
We're like further apart, kind of.
A little bit.
I miss being so close to you. This is weird. Jimmy's like...
I have a table for the first time.
You're standing. And I'm looking up at you.
This standing desk.
It's kind of like of an authority position that Jimmy's standing and we're sitting here looking at him like he's
looking down on us. I don't like it.
I feel like I'm giving a speech to you guys.
Well, kind of.
I'm like a professor.
Yeah, a little bit. And we're like students.
Yeah.
So the other thing is our studio's not totally complete.
That's why you hear a crazy echo right now. We're still getting our sound panels installed. So
yeah, and also we have a neon sign that's going to go right behind us, and it looks awesome. It's beautiful, but it came in the wrong color.
They sent us an orange one.
Yeah, it's like green and orange, not green and yellow. So
it's like Halloween themed.
Next week's episode will be a little bit more Loctite, but yeah, we're really excited. Do you guys want, Josh, you want to share a little bit about how this all came about? Like, how did this begin?
Yeah, you kind of, like when this all happened, you brought it to me. We basically got hit up. You take this. Yeah. I don't know how this actually happened.
Idea. So
I was on tour.
Yeah, so we were reached out to by Vintage City offices in Elizabeth, New Jersey. So we are live right now from Elizabeth, New Jersey. I wanted to say that in the opening, and I forgot to say it. We're live in Elizabeth. So
you'll figure it out.
Yeah, so we are at a spot called Vintage City offices, and they are it's a beautiful new space with lots of office spaces. And if you work in the area and you're looking for to not be working from home, perhaps you want more of a work environment that's around other people, they have tons of awesome spaces. And you can go to their website, vintagecityoffices.com/Garden State, and we have like a little affiliate link you could check out. But we're really excited because we'll do a tour at some point of the space itself, but it's such a beautiful building that we're in, and our room is awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really, really nice. So it just worked out. They reached out to us and we're like, hey, we have space. Come check it out. And we were like, this is kind of...
It's like 10 minutes from like where we were. So
yeah, it's really...
It's not like we're far.
Close to home. I mean, Union County
Union
residents
County,
till we
baby.
die.
100%. We can't leave Union County.
I think I'm going to leave Union County.
Well,
God.
The Garden State can't leave Union County yet.
Of course not.
It can stay, but
You're going?
I'm getting out. I'm going Hunterdon County.
Okay.
But
sure.
that's nothing against Union County. It's just, I just want a little space. I just want to live on a little bit of a farm, I think. Like, what a good combo. We work in Elizabeth. You're around a lot of people, a lot of energy and excitement. And then I go back to the farm at night. I mean, that sounds to me kind of like...
Sounds like the dream.
Like I wear overalls.
Speaking of dreams, though, I think the coolest part about this whole place is our sign on the door.
Yeah.
It says the Garden State.
It's like a real office.
Yeah, it's nuts.
The other thing is there's still a decal that's going to go above. If you're watching on YouTube or Instagram or wherever, you can't see behind us the top of these sound panels. There's green above it, and we're going to put this awesome slogan of ours on the wall. So there's still some stuff to be done, is what we're saying. It's still going to get buttoned up.
It's a work in progress, yeah, but we're just happy to be here.
Yeah, and we're just kind of trying to get our bearings and figure out how to do it. The podcast, that is.
Gabagool.
So... I don't know. Any other thoughts on that?
It's for me, it's exciting, but it's also weird. Like I was so used to being in the living room.
Yeah.
For 75 episodes, we were in your living room for like 60. We were in mine for probably like 15. And change is weird. Change is good. It's different. Like being somewhere else. So like I'm getting used to it. I like it. It's not a problem. It's just like the Garden State has been the same for so long, but now we're expanding and growing. And like Josh said, like that. There's going to be growing pains, and that comes with everything in life. It's cool.
I feel like we graduated from high school and moved to college.
You're right.
Well, I'll say this from the start in my living room, and it was, okay, so Josh, when you and I started this in my living room, and then I think the second week you were like, hey, Jimmy, can you come write down notes or just click record on the camera or whatever?
Gaffer. We needed a gaffer.
From the start, there was something, I mean, see, here's the thing with nostalgia. Your brain doesn't remember stuff correctly. We were really, I think, it was stressful in my living room because it was small and like the AC. Remember in the summertime?
The summertime was the
We had
worst.
to turn the AC off. And in the winter, we had to block the air ducts for the heat because it was too loud. So like, it was hard. There is a piece of comfort when you're in your living room or in my living room or your living room. Like
Yeah.
if there's a level of safety there. I think this is the next step for us though to grow this thing into what we think it can be. And we were saying when we were in my living room, hey, does anyone want to give us a studio? And
We legit asked
it
that.
just happened. It all worked out exactly as we had asked. So I'm really grateful. I think
Ask
this
and
is-
you shall receive.
yeah, and we're looking at a courtyard right now. This place has a courtyard with a beautiful little greenhouse on it. So how nice is that?
And I think that's Groundwork Elizabeth's greenhouse.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they do a lot of work with like the youth in the community, and
It's really cool.
Oh, cool. I like that. Okay, so boys, shall we get in to the podcast?
Let's officially start the podcast, episode 76. Let's freaking go.
Well, before we start it, last week we said, hey, we're going to do our weekend recap. If you're new to listen to our podcast, you just dove into a lot of info there. But every week we start this podcast with a weekend recap. It's talking about what we did over the weekend. Then we get into the news. We usually have 7, 8 stories lined up for you. And we try to get all the best news for the week in New Jersey, everything you need to know to get through your week and to sit at the water cooler and have a good conversation with your coworkers. So that's kind of the goal here. But last week while we were recording the weekend recap, I was like, we both at the same time.
You were like, weekend recap.
We were like, we need a soundbite. And then I shouted out the guy that made our mailbag sound. His
Yeah.
name's Noah. He goes by Iltronics as a musician. And I said, hey, if you want to send us, a new soundbite, we'd love that for the weekend recap. All he emailed us said, I got you guys with an attachment. So let's check this out.
Weekend recap.
That's legit.
What do you think?
That's legit.
That's excellent.
Weekend recap.
Okay, here's what I'm going to ask Noah. I think it's 9 out of 10. What would make it 10 is if you pitched your voice down. Like, does pitch go by decibels? No, it goes by. What would that number be?
I don't know.
Like a down pitch, like if it was weekend recap, like a little bit more Optimus Prime.
I think I
sounding.
could just do that in post,
Weekend recap.
Oh yeah, Josh, that sounded great.
Thanks.
So that was a collab between you and Electronics.
Yeah, we work together from time to time. He's a good guy.
Well, so the weekend recap is officially here. We have a soundbite, which means it's officially a segment. And boys, what did you do this weekend?
I really didn't do too much this weekend, if I'm being honest with you. I played tennis on Friday night. I think Saturday and Sunday I just chilled out. I'm not even sure what Saturday when my neighbors had a party. That's where I went.
Nice.
Yeah.
Little neighborhood party.
Yeah, a little neighborhood gathering.
Let me just say, Jimmy lives in one of those neighborhoods where everyone is friends. Like, I feel like everyone in your neighborhood knows each other, and I think that's so cool.
But it makes me so mad because like all these like cool parents have all these cool kids and all the kids hang out. When I was growing up, it was all old people living on my street.
That's one thing I think has changed about our state, and that's kind of old world that your neighbors all know each other. Because where I live, like, I don't know my neighbors, and I think most people don't know their neighbors. I also rent, so it's harder to kind of...
Yeah,
my
people are
street-
in and out.
Everybody's in and out, yeah. So, but I was going to say, I feel like back in the day, everybody knew their neighbors and had a relationship with their neighbors. And nowadays, like my parents, there's a symbolic thing that happened. My parents used to have, in the house I grew up in, the fences on either side were like 3.5 foot fences.
Yeah.
Like, so you could lean on the fence and talk to your neighbor kind of thing.
Yeah.
So both neighbors on both sides were always very close to us. We talked to them. Since I was a kid to now, new neighbors have moved in. Actually, no, the same neighbor lives on the one side, but I guess they wanted to replace their fence. And on the other side, a new neighbor moved in, and both of the fences are now like 6 feet. And it makes our yard feel
So sad.
Yeah,
so
so
much
small.
smaller because like it's just different.
Yeah. Well, you know what? For my neighborhood, I think a lot of this had to do with COVID, right? Like everyone was home. All of a sudden, one day, one of my neighbors started sitting outside in their driveway. And then slowly, like other people like were walking by, came and hung out. And it just kind of went on since then.
That's beautiful.
So,
That's how it should be.
yeah.
Like when I was younger, like I used to before cell phones, we used to just as kids run around the neighborhood, just knock on different people's doors where we knew our friends lived, and we would just go hang out and do our thing. And
Yeah.
like, are kids doing that nowadays? Are kids just texting each other?
They just go on iPads all day long. I think it's just iPads.
iPad kid meetup.
Oh my God.
I'm
They all-
trying to find photos on my phone to figure out what I did over the weekend. How sad is that? I mean, yeah, I just hung. I went to the farmer's market in town Sunday morning, swam at my in-laws' pool up in Morris County.
That's a flex.
It was a hot weekend, and it's getting hotter right now, right? The weather is...
Today's the hottest day. Today's Thursday. We're recording this. It's the hottest day of the year. I think it's going to be like 96 with like heat index of like 104 or something. So it's going to be disgusting outside.
Today in New Jersey, we have an excessive heat warning.
Excessive heat warning.
Wait, can you get that going for us?
we need a soundbite for everything.
No, we need one preemptively for when the snow comes in. A winter weather watch.
Yeah. Can we get it? Can we actually get a meteorologist for the podcast? Like we tune to our meteorologist and he gives us the weather report.
When Lauren Dew tunes into this episode, because she told me last time I saw her that she was 3 episodes behind. If you don't know, she works for News 12. She's one of the reporters. We should just ask if she'll freelance, and by freelance, we're gonna really capitalize the free in that. Lance, be our weather girl out on the street, and we'll just be like, go into Lauren. She'll be in the News 12.
I just saw her this past week, and she's like, are you going to have me on the podcast too? I'm like, yes, Lauren, we're going to have you on the podcast. So I think we found the perfect position.
But what I'm saying is she drives around the Thunderbolt, which is News 12's weather vehicle.
Yeah.
What if we just had her utilize their car and record reports for us?
I think it'd be genius.
We'd be like, she's live in our Thunderstrike vehicle. I'll change the name just a little bit.
We get one of those big magnets and we just put it over the News 12.
Yes, genius.
I think she'd go for it too. Well, we'll have to think about that. But yeah, this weekend was was hot. What did you do, Josh?
I played golf. Come on.
Tell them to bring out my putter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played in Mattawang. That was beautiful.
Mattawang, is that a real word?
Mattawang. It's in Belmead. You know where Belmead is, Josh?
I think so.
Straight up. Honestly, do you know where Belmead without looking at it?
Essex County?
I would have said south.
No.
South down by the shore, no?
Can you actually look up what county Belmead is in? I can't. It's right next to Hillsborough. What is that?
Hunterdon?
Is that Hunterdon?
No. I think Hillsborough would be Somerset County, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I think it's Somerset. You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Type
Somerset.
in Belmead County.
Yeah, Somerset.
Yeah, Somerset County. I always get Somerset mixed up. Forgive me, guys. I should know my counties better. It's on the back of one of our shirts, so I should know that.
You should know all 21 counties.
But that's part of Jersey where you're driving into farmland. There's farms everywhere.
I want you to recite all 21 counties now.
I think I have them all memorized. I'll start northwest and go over.
Okay.
You can go whatever order you want.
So Sussex. The middle there, doesn't it just go straight to Bergen?
Nope.
Oh, it's
Wait, you don't have to go in order. Just list
just
them.
give me that one.
Passaic.
It
goes up and over. It's weird. It's a very weird shape.
Oh, I didn't. So that's why I didn't get it.
Yep.
Sussex, Passaic, Bergen, Essex, Union, Somerset, Burlington, Monmouth, Ocean, Cape May, Cumberland. Excuse me.
Do you want me to collab with you?
No, hold on. I think I got it. What's that weird word that Jimmy always has to correct me on? Gloucester County. Thank you. All right, Chosky, what do you got for me?
Salem
County, yes.
Cape May.
I said that one already.
Morris.
Burlington.
Oh, I didn't say Morris County.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it.
Oh, shoot. Okay, wait. Warren County. Oh, yeah. See, it's just a matter of recall because I know all these, but.
You said Burlington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we still have.
There's a few randos.
6 more?
What's the one that Cherry Hill's in?
Oh,
Camden.
Camden County. Did I say that Camden?
No, I don't think you did. Mercer.
I know all these. This is annoying
Ocean.
me now. I said Ocean already.
Monmouth.
Said Monmouth.
Middlesex.
I don't know if you said
Guys,
Middlesex.
we should have pulled up a map before doing
Yes.
All right, well, I think I have them all memorized. If you give me a blank map, I could probably get them all.
Next week, we'll have maps.
Is Salem the smallest county in the state?
No. Hudson.
No, wait, no, I'm talking about people wise.
I would say Cumberland.
Oh, Cumberland. Because Hudson obviously is so congested with people.
I'll tell you right now. I thought you meant by landside. Salem.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Shout out to Cowtown Rodeo.
The more you know. Well, I'm glad everyone had a good weekend. And what do you say we dip our toes? Is that weird?
Yeah, I don't want to dip my toes.
I want to dip my toes in the mailbag. Just feel it out a little bit. I'm jumping in a pool.
I could smell what you're stepping in there, brother.
I saw this thing. It was like 40 lessons from a dad to his boy. It was on Facebook or something.
What?
It was like 40 lessons a dad's supposed to teach his son, but it was like, it was cheesy. And like the number one thing, it was like, don't ever. It was something like, I was like, who writes this crap? Don't ever use a ladder if there's something about like getting in a pool, never use a staircase. Like the only way to properly get in a pool is to jump into it. And I was like, who the heck is going to sit there with their son and be like,
jump in.
Listen, boy, like if you're taking the stairs in that pool, you're a wimp.
Is it like a metaphor for life? Like,
maybe it's kind of like, just go all in, but like to me, it just sounded like why use the stairs when you got legs to jump in, boy?
Yeah.
Kind of situation, but
I thought it was going to be like, always look the person in the eye when you're shaking their hand.
No, that was one of those.
But I thought that was number one. I would assume that was number one.
Handshake. Well, the pool thing may not have been number one, but it was up there. I remember reading now I take the stairs in the pool, I feel a little insecure. Not gonna lie, I'm like, should I just be jumping in right now? Like, did my dad not teach me this lesson?
You should be jumping in.
Can we take a little aside real quick? Just talk about handshakes for a second.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I think I have a pretty good handshake, pretty firm. But I hate how sometimes you just like don't get a good grip, and it's not what it could be.
The connection's not there.
And it's like,
You can't go back either. It's like once you do it, it's done.
You ever apologize for a bad handshake?
Yes.
No. No. That's a sign of That's a sign of weakness.
You're like,
because you don't apologize for a bad handshake.
Oh, I've done it.
Oh, then you already took the L right there. What if it's not your fault? It's the other person's fault.
You ever get one of
It
these?
normally is the other person.
Then why are you apologizing?
Grab my hand. Like, you ever get one of these?
I hate that.
And you're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, but why are you going to apologize for their mistake?
Yeah, because it's just awkward.
That's a
It's
sign
cringe.
of weakness. You never apologize. You never
For anything in life.
No. We're talking about the handshakes. You have to stand up. You have to be proud of your handshake. And if they screwed up the handshake, don't be apologizing. Right. That's their fault.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I think
don't get me fired up.
Josh,
it's only 17 minutes into the pod.
Josh may have been the guy that wrote that list. The 40 things our dad needs to teach his son.
Also, I hate when people don't look me in the eyes when they shake my hand.
Yeah.
I make eye contact. Like when I'm talking to people, I'm staring you down. And if you're not looking back at me, it's not good. It's not. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I'd agree.
But too much eye contact, I don't like. I've like awkwardly locked eyes with people for too long in conversations, and it's like, it's scary after a while.
Because you got to take authority over the conversation. You got to be the alpha. You got to be like, all right, I'm in charge here, type thing. That's not. I don't know. You can't show weakness.
All right, well, let's just get into the mailbag, boys. Now that we're dissecting our psychology. If you want to call in the mailbag, the number is
908 67 99 99 3.
Hey, Garden State crew. This is Pauline, return caller from Sussex County. I know we've been on the topic a lot about wildlife, so I just wanted to say, one, I was driving through Stokes State Forest the other day, and a mountain lion crossed the road. So I just had to put that out there.
What?
Second, we've had 3 extremely close bear encounters lately. A good friend of mine actually hit a bear on his motorcycle. I know he hit a bear. I thought when I got the phone call, I thought it was deer, but no, it was a bear. Luckily, he went to the hospital. He was there for a couple days, but he's okay. He's home now.
Oh, my goodness.
A couple days after that, my brother was on his motorcycle, and I was a couple cars behind them, coming up the street of my road where I live, and a bear crossed the road right in front of him and almost ran into him. And third, my good friend of mine texted me that someone she knows hit a bear on his dirt bike and got really hurt, broke a couple of ribs, and hurt his spine and stuff. So he's going to be out for a little while. And my entire Ring camera neighbor app is filled with nothing but bear footage at people's houses. So when are we bringing back the bear hunt? Because it seems like there's an overload up here.
It's
up
back.
in Sussex County. So
Yeah, it is back.
that's all. Just wanted to give you guys a Sussex County bear update because it seems like it's getting ridiculous. But anyway, keep up the good work. Love listening every week. And talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Pauline.
The moms of Upper Montclair are not going to be pleased about this one.
So can Pauline be our bear correspondent? That was a great
Yes.
update, Pauline. Thank you.
Pauline, call in whenever you want with the bear update. Hey,
Also,
listen,
mountain lions?
I just looked it up.
It's a
mountain
bobcat.
lion. Oh, it's a bobcat?
Yeah, we don't have mountain lions in New Jersey.
Because I looked up
Are
NJ.
you 100% sure about that? Because
100%
Pauline said she saw a mountain lion.
They're very closely related. A bobcat's actually the closest relative to a mountain lion, but mountain lions are significantly larger than bobcats.
Okay, so someone said a possible NJ.com reported, this other New Jersey news site, possible mountain lion reported in Princeton residence yard. So you're just saying that's a bobcat.
It's a bobcat.
Let me see. And,
Jimmy is so set on it. We got no mountain lions.
so
How do you know?
You said bobcats are smaller?
Yeah, bobcats.
Oh, they're cute, man.
Yeah.
No.
They're awesome looking.
Will they rip your face
Like
off?
if you didn't know what it was, I would probably say it's mountain lion. It's kind of like the difference between a wolf and I don't know, some other big dog.
Did you see that NFL player, Derek Wolf, that killed a mountain lion that killed a dog in his neighborhood? Mountain lions this guy is, I think he's 6'6". Look how big this thing is.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so epic.
I think he said it was 250 pounds. They're huge. They could eat you.
Yeah.
So that was a great mailbag call, though, like you guys said. I think it's hilarious. It's a tale of two cities, New Jersey, really. We live in an area where you would never see a bobcat.
I mean, will a bobcat attack you, or they're scared of people?
There's not too many of them. I've never heard of one attacking anyone in New Jersey.
Would you guys like to fight a bobcat?
No. Would you rather fight a bobcat or a black bear?
Ooh.
Cats are scary.
Cats are
because,
sneaky.
I don't even want to fight a regular cat. They're just they scratch you up, and
Yeah,
they do that thing where they're like. "Wah, wah, wah, wah." So I don't know.
they're scary.
I don't know what you'd have a better chance against.
I kind of no, honestly. Well, you said bobcats are not attacking people, so wouldn't you have a better chance with a bobcat?
Well, how many bear attacks do you hear in New Jersey too?
Pause. Well, Pauline, that was an amazing mailbag. Thank you for calling and being our official black bear correspondent / wildlife extraordinaire up in Sussex County. Shout out to Stokes State Forest too, boys. We have some good times up there in Stokes.
Yeah, Stokes is great. So what do you guys say we get into the news for the week and see what's going on in New Jersey? A New Jersey 6-year-old suffocated by a seatbelt while a bus monitor stared at her phone for 14 minutes, police say.
It's a really sad story. This has been all over the place, all over social media. I've been seeing this story this week. It's just terrible.
Yeah, this is about as horrible as it gets for New Jersey news. And just the circumstances around the girl. Well, I'll read the article and we can get into it. But a 6-year-old New Jersey girl who died on a school bus struggled violently for her life while a bus monitor sat nearby staring at her phone with earbuds in, police say.
Oh, God.
Newly released surveillance camera video shows Fajar Ataya Williams, a student with special needs, being strangled by her seatbelt while school bus aide Amanda Davila, 27, sat oblivious just feet away, according to a criminal complaint obtained by NJ.com. For nearly a quarter of an hour, Davila paid no attention to the nonverbal girl in a wheelchair as she suffocated to death, police say. She's now being charged with manslaughter. Detectives with the Franklin Township Police Department and the Somerset County Prosecutors Major Crimes Unit say Fajar boarded the bus to attend an extended school year program at Claremont Elementary School on July 17th. Davila brought the girl on board the bus at 8:29 a.m. using a hydraulic lift for her wheelchair, the complaint states. According to the police, Davila secured the wheelchair to the floor hook on the rear driver's side of the bus. She secured Fajar with a 4-point harness but neglected to use the lap belt and ankle restraints on the wheelchair, authorities say. At around 8:44 a.m., the bus hit some bumps in the road that made the 4-point harness become tight around her neck, the complaint said. Investigators who reviewed the surveillance footage said Fajar appeared to be moving her mouth at that point in the video. Then at 8:46 a.m., the harness tightened around Fajar's neck. For the next 2 minutes and 47 seconds, she struggled violently for her life, flailing her arms and legs. So this is just absolutely horrible.
I just can't fathom, right? Your job is to be a bus monitor and you have headphones in?
Yeah, they're just there for the paycheck, and they think it's an easy job. Let me just say I'm here on this bus, and once we get to our destination, we'll be fine.
Like, talk
And that's
about
just crazy.
not being present.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she's done this a million times and thinks, I don't need to pay attention, whatever. But you're dealing with little kids and little kids. I mean, I can't
With
imagine.
special needs, especially.
Yeah,
So.
I can't imagine having headphones in while doing doing my job in a situation like that. And there's a photo of her in the article now. She's in handcuffs in court, so she's going to be charged with something here.
Yeah, manslaughter, they're saying, so.
Well, that's what they're trying to bring her up on, but we'll see. I mean, when lawyers get involved in it and everything.
I think I saw like a video of a lawyer speaking about it, but like, how do you defend that? Like, do you just say that she wasn't able, because the girl was mute, so she couldn't hear the girl? Or I guess you got to always have visual. You have to have the visual on the kids though, right?
I
think she's going to get charged with something, but I just don't think it'll be manslaughter. I think they'll probably bring it to what's reckless negligence. Do you guys know?
I do not know.
Or just,
is there different stages of manslaughter too?
I'm sorry, reckless negligence is not. I combine two things. There's recklessness and there's negligence. I don't know how the law works. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think she's going to get manslaughter. What were you saying, Jimmy?
Is there like different levels of manslaughter, like murder? Third degree.
Yeah, first degree manslaughter. I think that's a thing.
Okay,
look it up. I think so.
Yeah, why are you asking us? I have no idea.
Let's see.
You guys are the ones at Google.
So there's voluntary, involuntary.
Yeah, that's right.
Vehicular.
So maybe she will get involuntary manslaughter. I don't know, but how horrible! A 6-year-old girl struggling for her life on a school bus. That's what in the world is going on when you can't even get on a bus and go to school or to a summer program safely?
It's laziness.
Yeah, absolutely. She was being lazy. So
people just want to get their paycheck. Let me show up, do this really easy job. I'm going to be a bus aide.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so simple. And then this happens. And now this girl's life is changed forever for the worst. And a family doesn't have their child with them today.
It's horrible.
I know.
6 years old, awful. Man.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Having a kid now gives you such a different perspective on stories with kids. Does it get you upset or like it's horrible. It's like the worst thing in the world because it's just, I don't know. It's way more personified, I guess.
Yeah.
Hits a lot closer to home when you have a kid and then to think about somebody else's kid dying because of some lazy, person that's supposed to do their job and is not
100%.
It makes me furious. So, prayers to this poor family that's going to be going through it, with the loss of their daughter. And this woman, we'll see what happens. I'd imagine something's going to happen. Jail time? I don't know.
She's definitely losing her job.
Yeah, well, that's
done
that's
already. Yeah. I think she will see jail time.
You think?
Yeah.
Unless her lawyer is just incredible.
No, I'm saying, a child's life was lost on her watch.
It was her watch. You're right.
So
we got to be better. We got to be
They're
better.
going to come up with some reason like she needed to have headphones in. It's just she has severe anxiety and
Why are you a bus aide? You shouldn't have that job.
I'm just saying that's the way these things work.
I know. I think that's so stupid though, and I don't think it'll go that way. I feel like they're going to be way more strict with it.
We'll have to see. Yeah. All right. So our next story is strange, to say the least. A New Jersey teen has confessed to calling in 2 separate bomb threats to an East Brunswick Hooters.
Out of all the places you could threaten, this kid was going after Hooters.
So
what did this Hooters do to this young man?
Was this the same Hooters?
Yeah, the one in East Brunswick.
Wow. On the way to Bro Breezy's house.
Yeah, right next to South River.
An Old Bridge teen admitted to police making 2 bomb threats against a Hooters restaurant. The first threat was called in 9:30 p.m. July 15th to the restaurant on Route 18, claiming there was a bomb in the bathroom, according to the East Brunswick.
Someone dropped a bomb.
Chief
Maybe
Frank
that's what he meant.
Lasacco, the Middlesex County bomb-sniffing canine, was brought to the restaurant and determined there was no explosive. Another threat was phoned in from the same phone number on July 19th, just before 2 p.m., which led to the evacuation of the restaurant, while neighbors were told to shelter in place. Once again, the bomb dog found no explosive device, Lasacco said. The calls were found by detectives to have been made by the same 16-year-old who confessed to placing both calls. The teen was charged with 2 counts of second-degree false public alarm. He's being held at the Middlesex County Juvenile Detention Center.
Yes!
Lasacco hopes the arrest will serve as a lesson to others who would make threats that their actions will not be tolerated. So, hoax bomb threats create public fear while putting first responders and public an unnecessary danger. False reports waste emergency response resources, which may lead to real tragedies, Lasacco said in a statement. The chief did not disclose the teen's identity or the motive or the threats. So here's one thing I will say. This is one thing I always wonder. When they're like, oh my goodness, look at that golden retriever puppy out there.
Distraction. ADD.
Here's what I will say about this. They always say like, oh, it's a misuse of public resource, which in some situations I get. But like the bomb dog isn't like didn't have other work to do that day, right? Like how many bomb threats are we getting really?
I don't know.
Maybe he was just on duty sniffing around somewhere else. I don't know, looking for a bomb in a more important location than a Hooters.
What I think they do, they check out areas where there's going to be public events, not necessarily knowing that there might be a bomb threat there, but before like a public event, I've seen bomb sniffing dogs just go around and sniff out the area.
Okay, but here's what I think I'm getting at.
Yeah.
If the canine people are getting paid every day regardless.
Yeah.
So how is it a misuse of I guess the resources are being abused because this kid's calling in. There could be real concerns.
Yeah.
But like how many bomb threats are getting called in? I'm not saying that. I'm not defending this kid. Like this is ridiculous. This kid should go to jail. But they always say that. It's such a misuse of.
Because what if there was an actual.
But there
threat?
Wasn't.
But what if there was?
Yeah, but
you never know you need it. It's like the fire department, right? If you're
right. No, that's true.
Yeah, the fire department's just chilling all day. So like.
Yeah, but
same idea.
But in the case, okay, so I know this is a stupid train of thought, and I know if there's like a police officer listening to this, they're probably like, this kid's an idiot. But listen, if there was a bomb threat elsewhere, are there not other bomb units that could respond?
There's probably only a limited amount of them in the whole state.
I don't believe that.
No, I mean,
I think most major townships have a canine unit.
Yeah, but there's different types of canines, right? You have your bloodhounds, you have your like attack dogs, you have your cadaver dogs. So they're all specialized. There's not like one dog that does everything.
I love all these names.
You're talking me off the ledge here, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
Well, the way you got to think about it, right? You yell fire at your school, right? The fire department comes. Then what if there is an actual fire on the other side of town, and now you brought them further away from their centralized location?
Completely agree with that. I just think like. I just, in my mind, I guess, imagine like a canine unit. They're just hanging out. That's, I guess, in my mind, what's going on. I guess you might be right. Maybe they're going to event spaces and stuff. But like, if there's, how many bomb threats? I guess we're getting a lot nowadays,
also,
right?
like a bomb threat it's kind of terrifying. Like a bomb could do some damage. So I feel like when a bomb, like a bomb squad rolls through deep with their dog into this Hooters, it's not just like, oh, let me go inside and look really quickly around. I feel like it's like it's a few hour process.
No, you're right. You're right.
They're searching every single nook and cranny of that place. And
so I worked at a.
So yeah, it's not easy.
I worked at my uncle's shop, and I don't know. I wonder if my cousins listen to this podcast because they're gonna get a kick out of this. But there was a time, maybe I told you this story, where someone came in with a World War II era, what looked to be an undetonated bomb. And my uncle was like, they placed it on the table. He's like, I can't buy that from you because people would sell that kind of like antique stuff to us. So he called the local PD and was like, hey, someone just brought in, I think you have to report that kind of thing. I don't know. I was like,
you never know. Yeah, you don't want to take a chance.
Oh my goodness, they blocked. It was like a 1/4 mile radius locked down, and we were right. I was right next to the bomb. Like, how are they blocking all these cars? But I get to be here. But you're right. No, you guys are absolutely. There is a lot of resource that totally goes into, making that sort of thing happen. So it would make sense that
especially it's a Hooters. You want to protect Hooters at all costs.
I've never been to Hooters.
I've never been to Hooters. I was telling someone this the other day. I was like, I've never been to Hooters.
Yeah, I've never been to Hooters, but I heard they have good wings.
But anyway, I wonder if there was like something that Hooters did to this teenager. That he was just like, why do you call Hooters though? Like, if you're going to do a bomb threat, why don't you, I feel like you would do it on a bigger place or somewhere that's, I don't know, unless he thought it was like a joke. He's like, oh, let's call a bomb threat to Hooters.
How is that ever a joke?
It's not, but
it's a teenager, Jimmy. They think it's a joke.
Yeah, but when in your life has there been a time you're like, yo, it'd be really cool to call in a bomb threat? That'd be so funny.
When I was a teenager, it wasn't. But nowadays, look at teens, what they're doing. They're out of their minds. They think that's so funny. It was probably a TikTok prank or something.
I did some hijinks in my day.
Did you call a bomb threat in?
No, never.
Bro, I was scared to call like 911 prank calls when you were younger.
You prank call 911?
No, I said that. I know. I meant to say they really, in school, they really told you how bad that would be if you did it. So I was always
Dude.
scared to do that. So
Dude,
I've never done
There
that
was one
before.
time I was at the Warnaco ice skating rink.
Yeah.
Classic place.
You guys have been there?
Yeah, the big
Of course.
fireplace in the middle.
Yeah. I used to go back in the day. They used to do my little,
Is that Lyndon or Elizabeth?
I think it's the board. I think it's Elizabeth. I used to do my little thing where I'd skate and then turn the skates sideways and spray the ice.
Sick.
I was pretty good with the blades. But yeah, so I'm outside the
I
rink.
would have wanted to punch you so bad if I saw you doing that.
I was like 9 years old.
I know. I probably would have still done.
You know who you'd be?
I hated when kids did that to flats.
You'd be the guy with the ice skates that's walking on the ice, not skates, just walking.
That was
There's
me.
always the one random Ukrainian guy
Listen,
walking on the ice.
I always wanted to do that thing where you do that thing with ice skates, or like the thing that you just said.
Yeah,
what is
man.
that called? Like
I would
skid?
skate backwards.
I could never do. I would always try to do the skidding thing, but then my skate would just get caught and fall forward. So.
Yeah, it's a product of
Anyway.
weak calves.
Can-
But we'll
what
figure
were
it
you
out.
saying?
So they had a payphone outside of the rink.
Oh, no.
And me and my friend Jeremy Manley, we were probably like 7, 8 years old. We walked over and he picked up the phone and he clicked 911 and then he hung it up. It was like a split second. I was like, "There's nothing. It's a payphone. We didn't put money in." Lo and behold, within like 10 minutes, the PD shows up.
Nice.
And they're like, "Who used the payphone to call the police?" And we were like, I said nothing. I was like, "I don't know what happened, man." Like,
I didn't
played
see anything.
Actually, my mom came out to us because we didn't actually see the police arrive. We came in because my mom was like, "Who called the police?" And then we came in, the police were not happy. So yeah, that's just a
Wait, did they
lesson.
find out it was you?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I think we kept our,
You're like pointing the finger at Jeremy.
like it was him. It was Jeremy. But yeah, we were just pulling some hijinks.
See, like back in the day, kids were prank calling 911. It was all good. It was a great time. And now the kids are doing. And now kids are calling in fake bomb threats to Hooters.
Wait, what's
going on in our
Would you
generation?
really prank call 911?
No, God, I never said I did. I said I was terrified to because everyone always warned me how bad of an idea it was. But I knew kids who would call 911 all the time.
And what do they say? I fell out of my wheelchair.
Yeah, like, is your refrigerator running? Haha, like to 911. But like I never did it because I was such a wimp and I knew better. I was raised with morals. I knew not to call. If you had to prank call 911, you didn't do 911. You do that. You know how they actually have a number?
It's a generic.
Yeah, you call that number.
That's the
non-emergency
non-emergency.
line.
The
Yeah.
non-emergency line. So
That's when it's not as bad.
all right, let's move on to the next story because this kid he'll figure his life out. I think this is going to be a nice slap on the wrist. And calling it a bomb threat's crazy though. Makes me think that there's something off there, but we'll see. All right, next story. Flight delays have gotten so bad at Newark Airport that Congress is now stepping in to fix it.
Thank God. Every time I'm at Newark, bro, there's a flight delay. There's a cancellation. The place is mobbed.
Yeah, it's getting bad.
Come on. Like, what's going on?
So last weekend, my sister-in-law went on her honeymoon, and their flight was delayed like 12 hours, and it ended up they were supposed to arrive at like 10 a.m. on Saturday, and they got there at 4 a.m. on Sunday. And when you realize how much a honeymoon costs, that might be like a $900, delay you're paying for the day and all the food and everything. So, but here's what it says. It says travelers at Newark Liberty International Airport this summer know it doesn't take much bad weather to cancel flights. Case in point, nearly 80 flights in and out of Newark Liberty were canceled Friday when a line of thunderstorms moved through New Jersey around dawn. Newark, JFK, and LaGuardia had the most cancellations in the country during the Independence Day holiday between July 2nd and 9th. United Airlines' solution is to cut flights at Newark for a second time this year and to make the airport more manageable. And I put that in quotes. United Chief Commercial Officer Andrew Nocella told stockholders during its second quarter earnings call that the airline will cut the number of departures from 435 to 390, according to a report by the travel publication Airline Weekly. So they're going to cut from 435 flights to 390. It doesn't give the timeline there. I'm assuming that's daily.
Yeah.
They said 90 cancellations in a day. I'd imagine they're not doing 435 flights a month. That'd be insane.
it's daily.
So, United CEO Scott Kirby said the airline will open 6 more gates in Terminal A. We'll use more resilient scheduling software and work with Port Authority in New York and New Jersey and the FAA. So
use more Terminal A for United. Like, it's such a nice terminal.
Yeah.
Like, don't just have everything in C. Use A as well. Maybe things might work better. I don't know.
Terminal C is where dreams go to die.
Dude, after Terminal A, everything is just downhill. Like, Terminal A is the dream.
Wait, have you been there yet? I forget.
Oh, multiple times. It's awesome.
So U.S. Representative Josh Gottheimer said he got language included in the FAA reauthorization bill that passed the House Thursday requiring the U.S. Government Accountability Office to study the reasons for the cancellations and delays. Gottheimer also wants to know what the U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and acting FAA Administrator Polly Trottenberg plan to do about the shortage of air traffic controllers. So there's some movement here. They're trying to do something.
Wait, so there's also a shortage of air traffic controllers?
Yes, that's
so
actually...
that's also another reason probably
in
why.
our region, from what I've heard, someone actually told me this the other day, there is an extreme shortage of air traffic controllers. How do you even become an air traffic controller?
I don't know, but I think
Jimmy would know.
that's such a cool job.
I could see you being really good at that.
I honestly, if everything else went downhill, I would probably do something in the airline world.
I think air traffic controllers have such an important job. I was watching a video last night of this guy. They were in a small airplane, and the pilot passed out or something, and the air traffic controller taught the passenger who had never flown the plane before how to safely land.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
They're great.
Can you imagine being in that situation?
It's a huge responsibility, bro.
I'm looking it up. Yeah. They make a ton of money. Like, you could make well over $200,000.
Well, you have to have a degree, or is it kind of like a trade?
That's what I'm trying to read right now. I think it's more of like you need some sort of a degree, but I don't think you don't need a specialized degree because they train you.
Yeah.
But yeah, salaries. If you go to EWR and you're an air traffic controller, or even Teterboro, you're making like 170.
Listen, if you work at Newark Airport or any of the airports nearby, and you work in air traffic control, and just please call into the mailbag and tell us about your life. Tell us what's going on. I actually snowboard. One of the girls who we used to snowboard with, my friend's cousin, she used to be an air traffic controller at Newark Airport.
What she said
I
was
remember asking her so many questions about it. This is maybe like 10 years ago. I was like, that's the coolest job ever. Like, you're the one controlling planes. And she's like, yeah, it's no big deal. It's fun. It's cool.
I think it'd be so stressful.
I feel like that's why I told her. I was like, isn't it super stressful? She was like, no. She's like, if you know what you're doing, it's pretty much the same routine every single day. I'm like, I get it. Like, if you do anything for a certain amount of time, like, you get used to it. And I just think that's such a cool job.
I just think of Breaking Bad.
Oh, with the plane crash?
Yeah, the air traffic controller.
Yeah, he was like depressed, and then he was just like, he didn't pay attention for 1 second, and then two planes collide. But I feel like there's so many. I feel like that's so fake.
That was a crazy moment in.
I was gonna say that was a little too much.
Show.
Yeah, I was like,
that was like the one.
Yeah.
That was the one point in the show where I'm just like, all right, guys, like, come on, that's like kind of way too fake here.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, in real life, I feel like there's so many like automated things that, like, even if you do let go, I feel like autopilot would kick in or something.
No, I actually just saw, I think this last year happened at one of those big air shows. I guess a plane went up into another plane and it exploded.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Was that the pilot's fault though?
That would be the pilot's fault. It wouldn't be air traffic controller. No, yeah.
All right.
Human error, bro.
Let's move on to the next story. In Wildwood, New Jersey, you boys ready for Wildwood?
Yeah.
Wildwood.
Anybody ever go to Wildwood this year?
Oh, not this year.
No.
Wildwood, New Jersey is considering a new curfew for those under 18 this summer.
Add Wildwood to the list.
What is this, like
every
5?
shore town, every week there's another shore town adding. Yeah, like 5 now.
This has got to be at least 5.
Yeah, they're all adding these curfews because the kids are getting crazy.
You know, these bandwagon towns, one does it, they all follow.
I mean,
well, they're competing with each other. You think about it, like Wildwood's got to be in competition with Ocean City for tourism, right?
Yeah.
And if people go, oh, Wildwood's crazy, but Ocean City has that curfew. Let's just go to Ocean City this year. That's probably
well, you're seeing like all these shore towns. Like now, this is like the 5th one. If everyone's implementing these curfews, that means the kids are going to another shore town.
Yeah.
So then all these other beach towns are just getting mobbed with more and more kids because they're leaving their town. So Wildwood's part of the mix now.
It says Wildwood is the latest Jersey Shore town to consider adjusting its curfew this summer. If approved, the new curfew would mean that anyone under 18 can't be out after midnight.
Midnight, that's
late.
That's a late curfew, so that's not that bad. Like other towns are like
10?
8 p.m., 10 p.m., but midnight, wow.
So Yves Bilodeau and his wife are enjoying their very first trip to Wildwood and say they especially like walking on the boardwalk. A lot of fun. There's a lot of things to do, places to eat within the distance. We're staying right across the street, said Bilodeau. who is visiting from Vernon, Connecticut. But 18-year-old Imani Mata from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, has been coming here for years and has noticed teens a little younger than her causing problems. I think this year has been pretty bad, said Mata. What is this journalism? I've seen kids with loud music running recklessly.
Those
kids.
Sounds like Mata's a rat, ratting out all the kids.
Over 4th of July weekend, city officials say a group of about 60 juveniles were rioting and causing mischief into the early morning hours.
Rioting?
I mean, they were kids being kids. Thank goodness it wasn't anything super serious, but it was an eye-opener also, said Wildwood Mayor Pete Byron. Soon after that, the city commissioners proposed changing juvenile curfew from around 1 a.m. to midnight. A vote is scheduled on the new curfew on Wednesday night's commissioner meeting.
Wait, so we're going to move the curfew from 1 a.m. to midnight. Like, that's going to fix everything?
So here's what I'll say to the people at home.
That doesn't make any sense.
There already is a curfew, something to recognize, because people are going to go, whoa, we're adding a curfew. No, there already is one. They're just going to move it 60 minutes.
Is that going to change a kid's perspective on anything? No. You're still going to stay out. You're still going to make trouble. Like these other beach towns, like their curfews are 10 p.m. They close the beach.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're just doing a curfew for these kids at midnight. Like, I feel like nothing's changing here.
Probably nothing's going to change. You're probably right.
Yeah, like, what's the point? Like, why would you? I feel like if you're going to change or make a big deal about this, you're going to change the curfew to like 10 p.m. or something if you don't want kids staying out all night and partying.
Yeah, maybe.
What's this going to do?
It's a good point. I don't know. We'll have to see if the juveniles change. I think you're not attacking the root problem, which is like these kids are crazy. So how do you fix that? Because soon they're going to be adults. If they're 16 now and they're calling Hooters for a bomb threat, eventually they're going to be 20-year-olds.
What's 20 look like?
It's going to be dangerous, man. They're going to be calling Chili's.
Dude, don't come for Chili's, bro. If there's a bomb threat calling to Chili's, bro, I'm going all in. Like, I'm going to freak out because I love Chili's.
Did we ever talk on this podcast the review that Josh Sobo left on Clark Chili's?
I had a period in my life where I liked leaving Yelp reviews, and I left 2. And the one was for Chili's and Clark.
Yeah, and it was terrible.
Hilarious.
It was a misinformed review.
I think it was,
to say the least.
You're pictured in it.
Yeah, there's a photo of you in my review.
Yeah, but
eating the Texas cheese fries.
I'm having a great time, and Josh just like rips on Chili's. It's like the Chili's is great, and Josh ripped it apart. Very unfair.
Oh, let's be honest here. The chocolate molten cake, sometimes it would come out not hot.
Over the past 4 years, it's gotten way better.
Okay, I haven't been there in a while.
Jimmy, we were there like 6 months ago. Shut up.
Yeah, you guys really? You guys go that often to Chili's?
Well, we used to go with Damiano, but then he bailed on us. Yeah, so then we kind of stopped.
Dude, Chili's
girlfriend.
Chili's and Clark has a 3-star review.
Yeah, it's because of you. You gave it like a 1 star, bro.
No, I don't think you give it 1 star.
2 star.
Oh my goodness, the number of 1 stars coming through. I want to see if I can find mine really quick because it's definitely on here.
I could
what
probably
year was
find
that?
yours pretty quick.
Can you just search your name?
You know what?
I
don't think I gave a 1 star. I think I gave a 2 star because I just said I wanted to give a 1 star, but
yeah, you couldn't like come to terms.
Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to it.
What year was that?
I don't have it, but
I can find it. Hold on.
I don't want to read it right now, but
okay.
No, come on. When are we going to talk about this? And why are you not going to read it?
I have it right here.
You have my review?
Yeah.
I like how Jimmy just has it on deck. Like he reads it every single day.
I don't even remember what I wrote. This is probably 8 years ago, but Jimmy, if you want to read it, if you'd like to read it.
I just sent it to you. I want to hear it in your voice. I think.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh. Let's see what we got here. Oh, boy.
Read it.
Oh, I gave it 3 stars. That was way too generous.
You're mean. No way. It's at least 4 stars.
The photo of Josh is amazing. I said Chili's is about as American as baseball, which is not true. It's literally like Mexican food.
This is good.
Well, it's true, though. It's an American take on. All right, so I gotta start over. Chili's is about as American as baseball. But much like America's game, it seems the restaurant has begun dying a slow and painful death. I remember on a Friday night in summer of 13, the chocolate molten would be hot, the potatoes loaded, and the chicken crispers crispier than ever. Now the floors are littered with trash, the tables are sticky, and even the tap water tastes like it was squeezed out of my damp bathing suit 3 days after I swam in the Rahway River.
Oh my God.
What gives? Make Chili's great again.
What year was this? 2016?
I don't know. You can't bribe good reviews out of me with Marg Madness. Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, and evening TV. Well, Chili's, I'm missing my old familiar friend. You are so much better than this. Would give 2 stars, but I can't bring myself to it. So that was my 3-star review of Chili's. Can you pull up my review of Applebee's and Clark?
Oh, I don't have that one. I didn't know you did that one. I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, I used to review my goal was to review spots that like don't need reviews, like Applebee's. I think I did leave a review. See if you can find it. My Yelp isn't even on my phone.
That was a completely unfair review, I must say.
Well,
then-
what's your gripe with that?
Well, and then there's that picture of Josh.
Chili's is the greatest restaurant ever. I love Chili's.
The best part of this whole review is the caption on the picture of Josh. This is my friend Josh, who was very disappointed by the Texas cheese fries. Josh has been eating here since 2001.
I forgot what that photo
Wait,
even looked like.
2001?
I think that's when it opened.
That's when it opened.
Oh my goodness. Okay, here's
It turned from a
Applebee's.
ShopRite into a Chili's.
Here's
I just sent the
Applebee's.
picture.
You found my Applebee's one?
No. I sent the picture of Josh.
All right, let's move on to the next thing.
It was
here.
2019.
2019. All right. Let's keep going. So 6 people were injured after a Newark, New Jersey building collapsed.
Did you guys see the photos of
past
this?
week. Yeah, it's crazy.
Bro, how did no one die? That's actually an amazing story that people are just injured and not dead.
The building looked destroyed. A building collapsed at a housing complex in Newark, New Jersey on Friday, leaving 6 people injured and 3 apartments destroyed. Newark police and firefighters responded to the building collapse at the Newark Housing Authority property on South Pipe Lane at about 6 p.m. The incident injured 6 people, including one who was seriously injured, according to Fox 5 New York. 5 victims were taken to the hospital while one refused medical attention. The seriously injured victim was taken to the burn unit at St. Barnabas Hospital, officials said. 13 families were displaced from their homes because of the collapse. They have been relocated to hotels and provided food as investigators sort through the debris at the property funded by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Red Cross was also offering assistance at the scene. It's a traumatic event. I spoke to a few residents who have obviously been displaced because of this. The city is being fully supportive of the Housing Authority to make sure we can provide what we can, Newark Mayor Ross Baraka said at a news conference. These residents will not be able to come back to this property until we can make an assessment that it is, in fact, safe, he added. People inside the building could feel the reverberation from the collapse through their floors and walls, while windows flew nearly 100 feet from the apartments, according to Fox 5 New York. Shards of glass were seen covering the building's parking lot. All of a sudden, my door just flew open and my lock came off, a resident told the outlet. I was scared. I couldn't move. Newark Public Safety Director Fritz Frage said that the crews turned off the complex's gas to investigate what caused the collapse. Officials could not confirm whether the damage was prompted by a gas explosion.
Yeah, so I was going to ask if it was an explosion of some sort.
Well, that's...
Based off the description of what actually happened, it sounds like something blew up.
Yeah.
You would assume it's gas, right? Like, what else would it be?
I don't know.
It's hard to know.
I mean, if there's one thing that this story really brings to light is the Newark Fire Department is constantly working. I mean, they just had that huge boat fire a few weeks ago where they tragically lost one of their own.
There's constantly something
And
happening.
Two of their own, yeah. And it's just insane.
Shout out to the Newark Fire Department, dude.
Yeah.
Heroes.
Yeah, they're busy for sure. I mean, you have all these massive structures that are probably a lot of them not up to code, all this crazy. You have to figure the amount of electrical fires in a city like Newark has to be insane alone.
Yeah.
Because junk is just not done right when you're in a massive city with lots of people. So thank goodness nobody died.
How did no one die from that?
I don't know.
The building was wrecked.
Building was destroyed.
Were people just not inside? Well, like that one person said their door just flew open.
I got lucky.
Yeah.
But it looks like, can you go to the pictures really quick?
Absolutely. It's like flat.
Oh,
it's like pancaked.
Yeah, it's like flattened. That is so scary. Thank God no one died. But it has to be gas.
It would make sense. It looked like it exploded. It looks like there was like a pop or something.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to this next story. The state of New Jersey is fighting back against New York's aggressive tax on out-of-state workers with a new tax credit. This is some interesting news here. So part of what we're seeing is the state of New York is kind of in a battle with New Jersey as of recently.
Yeah.
One of the things that arose was the congestion pricing to get into the city. So basically what's happening is Governor Murphy is going head to head with Hochul and the MTA, and they're battling it out over these unnecessary taxes on these individuals. And part of that is people are now working remotely from home and still paying dual state income tax. You pay New York and New Jersey. So it kind of creates a weird question. Like if you work for a New York based company, but you're able to work from home and you're not commuting in and using New York resources, should you have to pay New York state taxes? I think traditionally wherever you're being paid from is you have to regardless, but it kind of creates an interesting question.
Yeah, it does.
So here's what the article says. New Jersey is officially back on offense against states like New York that maintain an aggressive approach to taxing out-of-state residents who work from home. Governor Phil Murphy on Friday signed a law that changes state income tax policy for individuals and sets up a new tax credit program for businesses that will be used to entice out-of-state companies to create New Jersey locations for their employees that work in New Jersey. So the same law also allows for new tax breaks to be offered to individual taxpayers who mount a successful legal challenge against states like New York that assert they have the right to tax the income of people working from home in another state if the company they work for is based in New York. The law's adoption comes as employees in many industries are now working from home permanently or at least on a hybrid basis under practices initially put in place as a public health measure during the worst year of the COVID-19 pandemic. So here's something that's kind of interesting to think about. Murphy is trying to create tax breaks for businesses to come to New Jersey. So Murphy is battling it out to try to find a way to bring companies to New Jersey so that their employees don't have to pay dual state income tax, which is kind of interesting because it's going to be a massive tax break, I guess, for a lot of these corporations, which could be good because that's what we did with pharmaceutical companies in New Jersey. That's why you have Merck and you have Bayer and all these big companies all over the state. I don't know, but the article goes on to say, while such work settings have dramatically reshaped the modern workplace, they have also had major implication for state budgets, with potentially billions of dollars in income tax revenue hanging in the balance. So if you think about it, how much money are residents in New Jersey that commute to Manhattan, right, that are now working from home, still paying to New York, that could potentially be diverted to New Jersey, to the state budget of New Jersey?
So I'm just trying to break this all down in my head because I don't think as quickly as you guys. So basically what you're saying, like people are still going to pay the same amount of tax, but instead of going to New York, it's going to be going to New Jersey, correct?
No.
Well, no, I think so. I think there's a few things going on here.
Break it down.
So the first thing, what I'm hearing from this, it sounds like Murphy's trying to do is if you move a corporation from New York, they say you work for, I don't know, what's a big company? JP Morgan Chase. I'm sure they have a New Jersey office, but let's say you work for their Manhattan office. He's saying, hey, JP Morgan Chase, move to your office to Jersey so your Jersey residents can report their income coming from that office rather than the New York office.
Oh, so he's telling, but what if you but I thought the article is based off of like if you're working remotely in Jersey.
Yeah, but the payment, then you're technically an employee of a New Jersey corporation, not a New York corporation. Doesn't matter if you work from home or not. It's just who are you employed by? Where is the company actually located? I think I'm not an accountant. I don't know tax code, but that's, I believe, what the situation is. If the office is located in New York, then you're working technically in New York, even if you're working from home in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Do you see what kind of like a complicated situation that makes? Like you worked in Manhattan, and there were days where you could work from home.
Yeah.
But technically, you're still working out of New York.
100%.
So you're paying New York State. So it kind of creates a weird sort of situation there. But also there would be a tax credit. So I'm going to read that sentence again. So Governor Murphy on Friday signed a law that changes state income tax policy for individuals and sets up a new tax credit program for businesses that will be used to entice out-of-state companies to create new locations in New Jersey. So I don't know what the tax credit's going to entail. Maybe it'll be like, hey, if you come here, you're...
That was my question.
The cost
I'm kind
to
of
your
confused.
business will be really, really low probably or something.
Got it.
So
I was confused about that part.
So what he's doing, though, is because, and this might be partially related to what happened with the toll prices, because New York and New Jersey are battling over this toll thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's trying to aggressively draw tax dollars out of New York into New Jersey, saying like, hey, if you're gonna mess with us, then we're just gonna have your businesses come to Jersey because we're gonna tax them less and give them tax credits. That's what it sounds like, but will it pan out? I think a lot of these companies probably like being in New York, but who knows? Real estate in New York is expensive and companies are trying to cut their budgets. It's totally possible.
Jimmy, what was your thought on this thing?
Well, I have some friends who've been like during COVID and stuff moving across the country, right? And living in other states, and still you're paying New York taxes, and it's crazy.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens. I'd like to hear from a listener that's a dual state income tax payer. I was at one point. I know you.
I was at one point.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Are you right now?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
No. Maybe. Why are you guys looking at me like that, huh? Can't really say much.
Right.
Guys, I'm going to go. I got to get out of here. You guys are making me, I'm nervous.
Well, you never know. I just didn't know. You seem to live a mysterious life.
Gabagool.
Excellent. All right, let's move on to the last story. And this is a story I'm pretty excited about. And it's good this is the type of policy that actually gets me excited as a resident of New Jersey. New Jersey has created a commission to study the effects of social media usage on adolescents.
Let's figure out what's going on with these kids, man.
Yeah, so a new commission is being built, and they're going to study the impact of social media usage on adolescents, both in and out of school. Governor Phil Murphy established the commission on the effects of social media usage on adolescents by signing Bill S-715 into law Monday in Trenton. The commission will work to determine how long students in various age groups spend daily on electronic devices and see the impact of social media on health of students, including depression, anxiety, harassment, and bullying. It will also look at the impact on academic performance and physical health of students. The commission will be made up of 19 members, including the Commissioner of Education and 4 public members appointed by legislative leaders. In addition, it will include 14 members appointed by the governor, including students, parents, a school nurse, and representatives from education and advocacy organizations. Here's a quote. It says, "I recognize the tremendous importance of comprehending how digital platforms shape our youth's lives, both academically and emotionally." That was from Dr. Angelica Allen McMillan. So they're working right now to figure this out. I think part of me goes, obviously we know phones aren't good for kids. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like, isn't that kind of obvious to you?
Wait, didn't we do this story like a few weeks ago or something? What happened here?
I think when it was first introduced,
They were talking about it.
Oh, so now they're actually
this
doing
is
it.
being signed
Yes.
into law.
Okay, cool. Continue.
So I think we all at surface value know this is bad for kids.
100%.
I think it's pretty obvious. I think that this is going to be, I'm telling you, my personal perspective on this. In the same way we looked at, this is going to sound crazy. You know how like our grandparents' generation, people would smoke cigarettes when they were 14?
Yeah.
Like that's what this is. I think social media is going to be in like 40 years, unless technology advances to a way where everything's bubble wrapped. Like AI finds ways to safeguard these things. I think we're going to look back and go, can you believe like a 13-year-old had Instagram? Like what were we doing? Like with the amount of insane stuff on social media. Why are kids on their phones, dude? It's like, I feel like this is going to be the great awakening of our time.
And not only like say, even if they're not looking at garbage, say like it's clean, like they have parental controls, whatnot, but like just being on that screen constantly, that can't be good for you.
No.
Yeah.
So just that alone is bad. But then like think about the things that are popping up on their screens, man. The internet's scary.
So this is a good move. This is, I mean, if our...
So they're just like conducting a study pretty much.
Yeah, they're conducting a study, and it says the commission will issue a final report with its findings, which will include proposed social media standards and ways to deal with the negative impact of it when it comes to student health and academic performance. But here's my question, and here's my only gripe with this, because you know I'm a critic of everything. I'm trying to be better, but why is this on the state of New Jersey to figure out? Are there not massive research groups at universities finding details on this already? I know that the U.S. Surgeon General, because I've been reading about this issue a lot. It's something that interests me. The U.S. Surgeon General came out, I think, 3 months ago and said that his recommendation for social media is to delay introduction until age 16 to 18 for kids.
Yeah.
So that's our U.S. Surgeon General. So why does the state of New Jersey need to invest resources into doing our own study? It just seems like, I know that's a little bit nitpicky, but it seems like we're just kind of doubling back on work that's probably already been done.
Yeah.
Peer review.
Sure. But the state has to peer review. Aren't there universities focus groups? I know I'm being critical, but I'm just saying like it's a great thing. I'm happy it's happening.
They're going to come up with this report, right? They're going to have all their findings. What happens with that? Like, who takes that and runs with it? Does it go to parents?
It's probably going to go to schools. It'll probably be implemented into the schools, our school system somehow. But the thing is,
you think they'll take phones away or like tell?
No, they'll probably give guidance to parents. But the thing is, it does not, because that's the word all ends. It does not matter, because if parents are not on board, if parents are not going to,
if parents want to be lazy and be like, here, have my phone,
have a tablet,
shut up.
Yeah, if parents don't want to parent, then it doesn't matter what the state says. It doesn't matter what anybody says.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Any involved parent should have a good idea of what's right and wrong for their kid based on looking at their kid and going, is it right for my kid to be an iPad zombie for 8 hours a day?
It's scary, bro.
They say kids use screens like 8 hours a day.
I can't even talk. Like, there's younger kids who are constantly on their iPads. Like, you can't even talk to them because they're like so locked to their screens. It's like, what?
It's pretty bizarre.
I'm locked on my iPhone. I'm trying to get better. It gets scary how much screen time I use every day. I'm in the wrong. I'm trying to get better. It's just like, it's an addiction. It really is.
I think it's the type of thing that we shouldn't expect kids to be able to regulate how much they use something that's designed for dopamine releases and to be addicting. Like TikTok is designed to be so addictive. Every video, there's an algorithm that sends you great content one after another. I can't expect a 7-year-old.
It should be like in China, bro, where they just give you educational TikToks. That's what the U.S. should do to these kids.
Yeah, but it's not even just that. It's like if even if it's that, then the kids could still stare at a screen 7 hours a day. 7 hours of staring at a screen with educational videos isn't good either. Like, you got to be a human and go out and interact with people and like
go ride a bike.
I know it's a cliche, like the thing like what you just said. Like, it's a cliche to say go ride your bike, go hang out with but in the summertime when you're like 9, these are the only years in your life where you can go be
it's the only time
free and have fun. And like when you're an adult, that's all gone.
I miss that so much.
And that's, I think, almost as important as public, like going to school, as learning math and history.
I agree with you.
Childhood experiences that kind of socialize you and get you, acclimated to the world around you. But people don't. I feel like kids don't do that anymore. Like every day when I was a kid, I remember waking up at 7, getting excited to get my wiffle ball bat and a tennis ball to go play baseball with my friends. Every day we'd play baseball, every single day.
Yeah.
It was like we were addicted.
Yeah.
And we would then we'd go bike to Taco Bell or like bike through the woods. And like, it was
the best memories,
it was so much
bro.
fun. So I know you guys had the same. We all had similar.
We all did. We all were just adventuring. I think no phones. We had I remember when we were younger, we would buy disposable cameras.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, we'd be skateboarding in like the Target parking lot near my house all day, and we'd film videos of like skate videos and like take photos and get. We would like buy a whole case of Mountain Dew Code Red.
Wow.
As like 10-year-olds, bro, it was like the dream, and we just skateboard all day. I'm like, that was the best life ever.
Well, that's a happy
kids
ending
don't have that
to our podcast this week.
It really, well, yeah. I guess you could look at it either really happy or really sad, knowing that kids are not doing this nowadays.
The pendulum's going to swing back. I like all things in this world.
It's just crazy that
it's not forever. I think we'll have a great health awakening around this, and it's great to see the states doing this. It's great to see we're investing. Like, that's one thing I'd gladly spend my tax dollars on. You know, if we're gonna be taxed at the rate we are in New Jersey, like, spend it on this. Let's figure out how to make kids healthier and families healthier, and then, you know, after that, it becomes up to parents, which is where I think I become cynical. There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of people that really love their kids and want to raise them right. So I don't want to sound like a cynic. There's also a lot of people that just can't, out of necessity, out of, you know, families that are, both parents are working crazy jobs and they're busy. It's like, it can become a lot to raise your kids. And that's where I go back to on the point I always bring up about the cost of living in New Jersey. You know, if you want to fix issues like this, I think making the state more affordable for people, finding ways, like the tax credit thing, finding ways for people, lower the tolls, find ways to make it more affordable, to relieve stress from parents. So maybe you don't have to work overtime, and maybe you have the mental bandwidth to go, hey, what's my kid actually doing on that phone? I know it's not all about money, but that's one of the factors, I think, of what happens when you live in a place that's really expensive, is people, their mental bandwidth, to use buzzwords, gets just sucked up on work stuff. And it's hard to just have a strong family. So, and I think strong families is, and I said this before, I'll always say it, the solution to all of our nation's issues is strong families. There's no substitute for a good, you know, healthy, you know, dad that cares about his kids or mom that cares about their kids. So that's my soapbox speech of the week. That's all I wanted to say.
I just find it crazy that you just shared all that and you your daughter's 4 months old and she's ready on the iPhone. That's crazy.
Dude, she's addicted
She's
to
so
Netflix. No, she has had 0 screen time since she's been born.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Except for Shark Tank.
No, she would listen to Shark Tank. She would watch it.
Okay.
But sometimes when like
we're going to do weekly checks. Did she get her screen time, Josh?
sometimes I put on YouTube. I like to watch YouTube and I hold her facing me. Like I'll talk to her while I'm watching.
Mm-hmm.
And she just twists her head like all the way around. She wants to see the screen so bad. And Shelby's really like no screen time until she's older. Cause they're saying like I don't know. I don't want to sound like
her
crunchy,
only
but
screen time should be the Garden State podcast, just so she could hear your voice all day long.
I put it on in the car the other day because I wanted to listen to something we said back, and she loves listening to it.
Well, she knows your voice, so
She's like, "My
she's
dad."
probably like, Dad's talking to me. That's cool.
It's like, it's weird. Every time that dad talks, she cries. But once Uncle Josh talks,
Oh yeah,
she gets so happy.
Yeah, that's right.
You Junebug.
Whoa.
June, if you're listening to this, I love you.
And with that is the end of this episode. Thank you all for listening. Guys, any closing remarks?
I'm just really happy to be in the new studio. You know, we got a lot going on.
That's right.
I want to fix this echo. Sorry about that. If you guys could hear, I'm going to try to fix it in post. But yeah, we're going to get more sound panels coming in. It's a work in progress, but we are not out here, boys.
If you guys want to come work with us, go to vintagecityoffices.com/Garden State, just Garden State. And you'll see a thing saying, come work with us. Give us your name, your email, and you can come hang out and maybe be an extra on the pod. And with that,
we do want a meteorologist. So if you're a meteorologist and looking for a job where, we can't pay you 1 cent, but you still want to work for fun, come join the Garden State.
I love it. And with that, we will see you all next Friday for another episode of the Garden State. Thank you for listening and have an amazing weekend. Bye.
Peter.
Bye.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.